Hi there, my name's Melanie Pearce. This is my introduction video to support my application for A21 science teacher. So a little bit about my career experience. Biomedical science degree, then I worked for the Forensic Science Service being a trainer until I moved on to teaching because I love teaching children. I love explaining things and trying to help them understand, and I like working with the vulnerable students as well. So I then worked at Courtmore for about 8 years, but in between that I worked in New Zealand, so I've got an experience of doing a different curriculum. Got promoted to, they kept my job open for me. I was a lead science teacher working in the lead in the county, working on inquiry skills and seeing the bigger picture and explanations for science. I then was promoted head of department. I then moved to Perrin School, where I was the head of transformational learning, which is a cross-curricular curriculum for 7s and 8s. We worked on PELTs, basically personalised learning and thinking skills, so independent inquirer, self-manager, reflective learner, and it was a one-to-one device scheme. So I've been embedding the one-to-one device scheme in e-pedagogy for the last 12 years. We went to SSAT national stage to talk about the things that we've been doing with the VLE to make it more personalised, and I got promoted to assistant head, so I was in charge of CPD and teaching and learning. Again, worked with SSAT on their teacher effective enhancement programme. I was in charge of wellbeing for staff, parents and students. I did the Senior Mental Health Lead Award, line managed departments, line managed Senko, and basically I seem to get involved in the areas, the troubleshooting areas that need work. I'll move to that area. So now difficult area in schools is SEN, and I'm now Director of Inclusion, so I work with parents, EHCP students, EBSA students to try and get them connected to school, into school, sourcing different alternative provisions, of which A21 is one of them, just part of the package. Lots of different things, because we need to remain connected, interpersonal relationships, that's what partly connects the child to the school. And I've also been doing, therefore, work with the teachers to make their lessons and experience environment more inclusive, with SEN teaching as well. So that's where I currently am, Director of Inclusion. Okay, so the reason I'm applying to A21, I've experienced it as a mentor, so I've used as part of the provision for students at our school, that's some EHCP students, some EBSA students, or just some students with various difficulties. Part of the package, I've been really impressed at the platform so far. The admin and the onboarding is really efficient. I really still like teaching science. I've been teaching for 20 years, so it'll give me a different kind of challenge. I've got lots of experience for online pedagogy and e-learning, not only from teaching during COVID, but from my experience at Perrin School. I just can see there's so much potential for teaching and helping SEN students to be connected again with education, maybe where they don't like the way school is since COVID. It's got a lot to answer for. So I really like to be part of this development, part of this team. So in terms of professional development, over my 20 years, I was a lead science teacher for the county, which led me to be a lead science teacher for SSAT. I was part of the Vision 2040 group with people like Tom Sherrington, etc. So I was more involved in Twitter, but I tend not to go on there so much anymore. I did a PGCIE in Innovation and Education in Warwick. That was looking at assessing pupil progress. I presented at the ASE, Association of Science Education National Conference. I have led on CPD using, for example, Dylan Williams embedding formative assessment. So really, really interested in formative assessment. Did Senior Mental Health Award, so Leaders Award with Creative Education. So done lots of training with creative education and the EBSA. And then since I've been doing Senko stuff, whoa, professional development is like, that's a steep learning curve. So I've still got lots of learning to go, but that's where I am with professional development. And finally, so gaps in employment, very few. I did leave New Zealand in July and did a bit of travelling for 6 weeks before the new term started in September. But generally, I've been employed as a teacher, moving up the way the whole time.